They were building a bypass in Ipswich in Suffolk, and they disturbed ground that hadn't been disturbed since Roman times. And then in the following year, magnificent show of poppies. Dense, loads of poppies, coating the hills where they'd disturbed the earth. Made cuttings and so on. In other words, the seed waited. The ground waited. The seed had the ability, the ground had the nourishment. But nothing happened till the sunlight came. Now, typically seeds lay on the surface before they germinate. One root goes down, another shoot goes up. There you are. Of course, if you're elementary like I am, you dig a hole, put the seed in, you put it in too deep, it doesn't get enough sunlight, nothing happens to it. Someone in the soil eats it. Well, I put it underground so the birds didn't eat it. Yes, but the sun couldn't get to it either, could it? No, it's not the sun itself, is it? It's the sunlight. What is sunlight? Electromagnetic waves. Just about every frequency, probably. Breathes into the seed and the ground to cooperate together, and whoosh, you get life. I thought it was just the temperature. I don't think so. I think you need sunlight. Have you had much sunlight lately? Don't you think that, more naturally speaking, your body's built for some exposure to the sun? Not probably the merciless rays that we've got by mangling our ozone layer, but some sunlight, yes. What is thought? Well, it's presumably electricity of some sort, or electromagnetic impulse. Are you sure that's not just the coarser effect that we can see, and that there's not I was almost going to say ethereal, a wispier, less easy to find effect? Perhaps rays of very high frequency, much higher than we're thinking of, or very low, ultra high or ultra low. But perhaps combinations of such that are appropriate to, I was going to say, bringing life together, the life that's in the soil. Have you tried growing things in dead soil? I'm very keen on Roundup here for killing weeds, but of course Roundup kills the soil in large measure. It's bio-extinct for, well, they reckon up to 7 years for the ground to recover from a good dosing of Roundup. It's not that you may have actually altered the constituents of the soil, but it's dead. It's killed the life in it, so that even if you put seeds in it and sunlight, well, it doesn't grow very well. It might not grow at all. It's a real poor harvest. So you need something of life actually in the soil itself, not just the seed. I'm not saying it is life in the soil, but from a point of view of humus of the soil, yes, it's biomatter you need in the soil, isn't it? Even if it's second hand from previous life. Plants and that composted down. But you still need sunlight. Perhaps sunlight is life, is creative, is creation. I'm come that you might have life, and he is the light of the world. And of course you breathe into them and became a living soul. All the elements, perhaps in a sense, having their way, their life side, that they contribute to the creature or the plant. The air, the sunlight, the soil around the seed, the plant. It has to have life in it. In a sense, life. Or that which leads to life in the right harmonious company, I suppose. Fellowship, communion. Communion of factors coming together. Wow. And yes, the life gives off waste products. We give off carbon dioxide as a waste product. And the plant gives off oxygen. But they're symbiotic in a way because each helps the other, doesn't it? We need oxygen, the plant needs carbon dioxide. Wow. Atmosphere's got loads of nitrogen. We need nitrogen for proteins in the body. But we're not very efficient at transforming nitrogen from the atmosphere into proteins. Or are we? I don't know. Perhaps there is something of this going on. But the plants, some plants in particular, are very good at it. Hence, a cow can eat, a bullock can eat basically green herb of the field and put on fantastic amount of weight, protein, nitrates. He can take the nitrates from, I presume he's taking it from the grass. Yeah. We don't seem to be very good at that. Haven't got the right stomach, you see. Perhaps we didn't need to have plenty of nitrates around to eat. Sorry, plants. Oh, fruits. Ideally. You don't destroy the plant when you eat the fruit, do you? Well, unless you munch the seed as well so that you stop the reproduction, but... Mind you, judging by the amount that my compost grows that I don't plant, I just spread the compost and up comes tomatoes, which I didn't plant. Up comes spinach where I didn't plant it. I planted it elsewhere, I think, oh, this is good. We think of man as very destructive in a way for nature, but some bits of nature have done incredibly well for man. I mean, grain crops, for instance, because man husbands them. Cattle in enormous numbers. I know they're not plants, but you know what I mean. We're responsible for, or you could say an imbalance in nature, of course, depending what your definition of balance is. You know, if you think any effect of man means out of balance, that it's only natural without man. But man's been around for a long time, so whatever you liked about nature's balance, it was man that was probably partly responsible for it. For best part of the last 1,000,000 years, anyway. You know, do we get rid of all the fauna, all the animal life, so the plants can flourish? No, certain plants don't flourish that way. In England, the oak tree takes over. You've got nothing but oak forest. It's not been like that since the end of the Dark Ages, I might point out. From something brook to hilly bree, a squirrel may jump from tree to tree. In other words, from top to bottom of Britain was oak trees, all the way, oak forest. That was the saying. Probably never quite true, but 99% true. Or at least they felt it was. But more to the point, if your thoughts are wrong, your body doesn't thrive. Hatred, bitterness, depression, malice, unforgiveness, discontent. Sort of thing that doesn't make the body thrive. And we picked this up, haven't we, in our culture? We've got the notion of evil, or witches, and if you were to paint a picture of a witch, you wouldn't make her the most beautiful woman in Greece, would you? You know what I mean? She wouldn't look like a Swedish beauty. She looks like something haggard, and in other words, that in some sense, evil thoughts have affected her appearance. Now, this doesn't say much for old age, because it means any of us that live to old age and get, wrinkly and crumbly, is the consequence of the accumulation of bad thoughts that we're carrying for the last many decades. Is this true? Oh, I hope not. It might be that. What did Jesus' story say? Whatever you think strongly in your heart, in your mind, will come to pass. Say to this mountain, move, and it shall be done unto you. Oh, that's not likely to be true. You just think, well, he can't be speaking literally. And perhaps he wasn't. Perhaps he was speaking spiritually. But perhaps you are spirit. And perhaps your body and your life is much the way it is because of the way your spirit is. You can keep repainting the body all you like. It's still responding to how the spirit is. And in the end it decays faster than, well, your spirit just says, I want to get out of here. Well, in that case, Eastern view of reincarnation seems much more likely, because most people, as they get old, don't get more and more beautiful. Don't know. You might see Grandma as absolutely lovely. Dear old soul. Whatsoever's good and lovely, think on these things. Perhaps it majorly affects your health and vitality. Good reason for doing it, isn't it? Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Oh yes, give your plants a harmonious atmosphere. Don't forget to talk to them and sing to them. When you're pregnant, a bubby in there, have nice thoughts and nice words, and talk to Bubby nicely, and sing. Imagine you're Bubby and Mum's singing, Ooh, what's that enchanting song? Talk to baby. Long before he can talk to you, chatterbox to him. Tell him everything you're doing, everything you hope, everything you love about him, everything that's good, whatsoever's good and lovely. Chatterbox on these things. Pick up the language fast. Language, what are all these noises? What am I supposed to do with this torrent of sound? Gradually becomes clear. Are you hungry? Oh, I know what that means. Yes. Oh, was that the right response? I said yes. Little girl. I take this little chap to school, but he's got a younger sister. And the younger sister must be 1 by now. But anyway, she's 1 and whatever. And apparently she can say words, the odd word, you know. Well, I pick him up and I'm just about to get in the car and she's up there on the balcony with Dad, looking at us and her brother going to school. She's just looking and she realises I'm going, so she says, bye. First time she's done it. First time she's said a word to me. She said words to them, of course. But this was bye. And she knew she, and I said, bye. And waved back, of course, furiously. You have to do everything larger than life, don't you? It's got to be absolutely definite and clear. But I thought, oh, isn't that adorable? She's talking to Marshall. Bye. Well, she may have been talking to her brother. But no, I think she was looking at me at the time. She knows I'm going to wave furiously and say bye-bye. And I mean, if I heard her say bye in reply to me, I may have done. Yes, I think I have. But this was initiated by her. Yes. I'm not sure whether she's answered before or if she's just waved in response to my waving. You see, we train them to mirror, don't we? Or perhaps they do mirror automatically. What you do, your bubby does. Be an absolute angel. And your bubby will be. But may not be immediately. They may go through a really tricky teenage time. My boys didn't. I was amazed. I just thought, I can't believe it. I think my daughter's going through a bit of a tricky time, but she's never tricky with me. No. I mean, she doesn't talk to me. Sometimes for ages, you know, I think, have I done something wrong? No, she's just not talking to me. But she's never got upset or angry with me. I've upset her once, I think. I realised, oh, she's near tears. Oh dear. Must have said something too much. I don't tell her off. I've never had to punish her. Punish, I don't like the word punish, dear. I wouldn't dream of punishing her. But I've really avoided telling her off. I guide her, you know, some considerable time after it. I say, how did you feel when it wasn't good, was it, love? Best not to do that if you want a happy life. You know, it's about the nearest I get to telling off. It's not telling off, it's I want you to prosper, love. I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly, life eternal. Thank you, Jesus. Well said. And what we should say, we are sent, just as he is sent, to tell people he's our Heavenly Dad, loves us. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. I've gone on too long. I should break this up into 2, should I? I don't think I'll bother though. Thank you, Dad.